This is a Bran the Builder theory video. Full disclosure, I did not come up with this theory, nor do I know who originally did. This theory has been floating around for a while, so I take no credit in its creation. Also, it's a bit of a wild ride, so hold on. For this theory, you need to be aware of 3 people in Westeros history: the last hero, Bran the Builder, and the Night's King. If you already know who these people are, click the box to be taken to the story part of the theory. Quick summaries of each. First, the last hero. During the Age of Heroes, the Long Night came, which was an entire generation of winter. It is in the grasp of the Long Night that it is believed the others came for the first time from the frozen land of always winter. These creatures were said to ride on monstrous ice spiders and horses of the dead, and they brought cold and darkness in hopes to extinguish all light and warmth. The last hero rose during this long night, sought out the children of the forest with 12 companions who all ended up dying during the journey. Finally, with the help of the children of the forest and the Night's Watch, the last hero defeated the others and forced them back to the far north in the battle for the dawn. Second person is Bran the Builder himself. Brandon was the supposed founder of House Stark, who built the wall to keep the others out at the end of the Long Night. It is also claimed he built Winterfell, Storm's End, and the High Tower for House Hightower. Finally, the Night's King, the 13th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, who came to his position during the Age of Heroes and shortly after the wall was constructed. The man fell in love with an other woman, took her for his bride, broke his vows, and declared himself the Night's King and used the men of the Night's Watch to rise in rebellion. For 13 years, this Lord Commander ruled as the Night's King until the current Stark King, who may have been the Night King's brother, allied with Joramun, the first king beyond the wall, and together they defeated the Rogue Commander and restored the Watch. After the Night's King's defeat, his name would be forbidden and forgotten from history. So, there is a theory that Bran the Builder was actually all 3 of these men: the last hero, Bran the Builder, obviously, and the Night's King. The story goes like this. First, during the Long Night, Bran and his 12 companions faced terrible odds to try and find the children of the forest to defeat the others. In the process, Bran lost his 12 companions, or friends, to cold, giants, servants of the others, and the others themselves. But eventually he found the children who agreed to help and provide him with the weapons to kill the others, dragonglass. Brandon then builds Winterfell as a base for their operation. This may be why the Stark's home is named Winterfell, because quite literally, winter fell there when Bran and the Night's Watch defeated the others at the castle. Some people point to Winterfell's odd construction with a moat sandwiched between 2 walls, a product of slow building over the generations, or built this way because they needed multiple levels of security against the others. Alright, so Bran and the Night's Watch defeat the others at the Battle for the Dawn, and now the others are driven to the far north. To make sure the realm was safe from any further threat from the others, Bran built a huge wall to keep them out and thus gave the Night's Watch a location to base their operations. From here, the story diverges. Some people think Bran decided to become the first Lord Commander. Why would Bran join the Night's Watch when he has Winterfell and a line of kings to start? Maybe because the wall was his greatest achievement and he wanted to watch over it. If he fought in the Battle for the Dawn and lost his 12 friends, he knew the stakes if the realm was attacked again by these monsters. Maybe he gave the rule of Winterfell to his brother, but because Bran was so famous, Starks kept claiming their ancestry from Bran the Builder and not his brother. When he joined the Night's Watch as a Lord Commander, which they would easily let him do, he built the darn wall, instead of being called the first Lord Commander, Bran named himself the 13th in honor of his 12 companions lost. Another thought is Bran and his 12 companions had decided to band together to defeat the others and also be commanders together in a new organization to guard Westeros. Since they didn't make it, Bran called himself the 13th in honor of that. The second theory on how Bran joined the Night's Watch is Bran was the first Stark King, had his son, another Brandon, and when he had lived long enough, he decided to pass the ruling of Winterfell to his son, and then he joined the Night's Watch as the 13th Lord Commander. How could they possibly be on the 13th Lord Commander in Bran's lifespan? Maybe Lord Commanders kept dying quickly, so Brandon decided to join the Night's Watch to help them protect the realm. It's guessed in the beginning of the Night's Watch that there was a high turnover rate for the Lord Commanders due to fighting the wildlings and others who may have wanted round 2. Either way, Bran joins the Night's Watch at one point in his life, leaves his son or brother in charge of Winterfell, and he becomes the Lord Commander. One night, Bran spots a female other from his position on the wall. He heads out to destroy the other, but instead was seduced or tricked into giving up his soul. This may have been done by the other woman as a way to destroy the man that ruined the other's conquest. The others could be quite salty about losing, and what better revenge than stealing the soul of the man who caused your downfall? Heading back to the Knight's Fort with the other woman, Bran declares himself himself the Night's King, and they use magic to bring the rest of the Night's Watch under their control. This theory believes that Bran and the other woman both use magic. This is supported by Bran supposedly being able to use magic, such as in building Storm's End. From there, Bran rules for 13 years. 13 is brought up a lot, before his brother, the current king of Winterfell, or maybe his son in history has it wrong, joins with the king beyond the wall, Joramun, to defeat the Night's King. After Bran is destroyed, all records of the Night's King are wiped from history. This could have been done for multiple reasons: to make sure no one gets the idea again, and to protect the legacy of House Stark and that of a man who did so much for the realm, defeating the others and building the wall, before he turned evil. So there's the theory. Points for this theory. Old Nan states that the Lord Commander that became the Night's King was a Stark, and perhaps a Brandon. Old Nan has a habit of telling stories with a high-ish percentage of accuracy. She also states the 13th commander of the Night's Watch was said to have no fear. Being the last hero and having no fear would probably go hand in hand. It would also explain why, after catching a glimpse of the woman while atop the wall, Bran went after her on his own. From there, she could have worked her magic on him and corrupted him into using his own magic to control the Night's Watch. It was later discovered they were performing sacrifices, perhaps to keep the Night's Watch under their thrall through blood magic. Another point for this theory: striking the Night's King from record. What would you do if the biggest figure in your history, who was the hero and founded the Stark dynasty, turned out to later be a sadistic, human sacrificing, other-loving psycho? Would that family hide this turn of events so their reputation and dynasty stays intact? The Maesters have mentioned before they believe the Starks and Night's Watch have changed details to make themselves look better and heroic. How much have they changed history? Points against this theory: a lot. 1. There are so many Brandons throughout Stark history that even if they found out the 13th commander was named Bran, that wouldn't mean a whole lot. 2. The records of the Night's King may have been destroyed due to his sacrificing to the others, everything the Night's Watch is against. Not because the Night's King was some heroic founder. This would be done to protect the honor of the Night's Watch and to discourage the event from happening again, which is a smart move. Even in our own society, we have copycats, and leaving details of how the Night's King accomplished a 13-year rule may not be a good idea. Next, there's no way to know if the 13th Lord Commander was the actual 13th or when his command began. Sam states that even though Jon is the 998th Lord Commander, there are only records for about 674 Lord Commanders. There could have been a very large turnover rate when the wall was first built, or the 13th Commander could have ruled 200 years after the wall was built. The Maesters say the 13th Commander came to power shortly after the wall was erected, but when they talk about thousands of years at a time, what is considered shortly after? Winterfell being constructed as a base for the attack on the others is iffy. The Maesters believe the castle was built in pieces over the years and that the inner and outer wall were built at different times, with the inner wall being built about 2,000 years ago, which means it was most likely built far after the Age of Heroes. That doesn't negate Winterfell being used as a base for the attack on the others, but does put in doubt on Winterfell being built as this super crazy strong fortress with a moat between two walls to better keep the others out. Could Bran use magic to enthrall the men of the Night's Watch? In most of the stories, Bran enlists the Children of the Forest to infuse things with magic. Storm's End is in question because it obviously has magic, but was also thought to have been built by Bran. This leads people to believe that Bran could use magic, and that this magic helped corrupt his Night's Watch brothers. However, some people think the Children of the Forest helped build Storm's End, not Bran, which would explain the magic. Also, Maesters speculate that the final form of Storm's End was created after the Andals arrived, so the magically infused castle wasn't built by Bran. Or maybe Bran did build a version of Storm's End with magic, and when they rebuilt on it, the magic stayed. We can't say for certain Bran could use magic. And we also can't say for certain if the other woman was the only one using the magic to enthrall the Night's Watch men. Next, we have zero proof that Bran the Builder was a warrior or did any type of fighting. We only know him by the things he built. Wouldn't there be some stories about Bran being a fighter before he went crazy? If he was the last hero and Night's King, a warrior without fear, you think Bran the Builder would have some epic battle story. Why erase from history that Bran was the last hero? Why not just forget the part about being the Night's King? And finally, George R. R. Martin states that no one knows for certain if Bran the Builder even lived. Well, George knows. He equates the Age of Heroes with stories of Noah and Gilgamesh in our world. With characters so far removed from the main story and without definitive timelines, who's to say what really happened? All our speculation is drawn from maybes, what-ifs, and our own opinions on events. There doesn't seem to be a single piece of evidence that makes this theory on the side of being more believable, like the R plus L equals J theories do. George has also said, As for the Night's King, in the book, he is a legendary figure, akin to Lan the Clever and Bran the Builder, and no more likely to have survived to the present day than they have. The phrasing of that sentence really makes it seem like Bran and the Night's King are two separate people. What do you think? Do you think Bran the Builder was the last hero, turned back the others, built the wall, started a dynasty, only to eventually be seduced by the things he spent his life trying to save the realm from? I would like to hear your thoughts for and against this theory, as there are always little clues, hints, and passages that can add or take away from a theory. A lot of theories are maybes and what-ifs, and I doubt George will ever write anything that tells us for certain Bran was the last hero and the Night's King. I may make a top 5 craziest Bran the Builder theory video, but a lot of theories are so insane I don't even know how to articulate them in a short video. This theory was difficult enough. New Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire videos every Sunday and Wednesday. Giveaway is still going on. There are only Lannister and Targaryen posters left. All you have to do to win is leave a comment on any video published between August 30th and September 5th. Next week, the random comment generator will randomly pick a winner. This is open to international subscribers. Quickie Game of Thrones news. George has confirmed that some characters dead in the show will remain alive throughout all the books. Barry buddy, hang in there.